I'm going to tell you a story that an old man who lived in Cape Town long ago, and his name was Uncle Boetie Baradien. I'm going to tell you the story that he used to tell to his nieces and nephew. Their names were Fatima and Galima, who, being girls, were Uncle Boetie's nieces, and Achmat, who, being a boy, was Uncle Boetie's nephew. Well now, without any further ado, let's get straight into our story, shall we? Uncle Boetie started by saying, I'll tell you about why the lizard moves his head from side to side. And this is how it begins, Uncle Boetie said. Once upon a time, long ago, in the days when lizards could talk, there lived a very kind and friendly lizard in the land of a great king. All day long, this lizard used to love to sit on a rock, basking in the sun and singing the lizard song. It was all so long ago, said Uncle Boetie, that nobody remembers the tune anymore, but I do know the words of the lizard song, and these are the words. Choose me a sun, choose me a bead, hot rock and yellow weed. Start again, the scaly gaze. Quick feet, quick feet, quick feet. Well, said Uncle Boetie, the king of the land where the lizard lived had a very beautiful daughter. This daughter's name was a secret known only by the king and the queen and the princess's little brother. Then the king sent out a message to all the people of his land, saying that whosoever could guess the name of the princess should be allowed to marry her. Now, there happened to be a very wicked man whose name was... No, said Uncle Boetie. He was so very wicked that we won't even mention his name. We'll just call him the Wicked Man. Now, this wicked man thought of a plan to learn the secret name of the princess. He took a spun speck, drilled a hole in it, and filled it with the sweetest wild honey. Then he took the spun speck with him, climbed over the king's garden wall, and hid himself high up in a tree. Soon the princess came out of the palace with her little brother to play in the garden. Just as the little boy was about to walk under the tree where the wicked man was hiding, the man dropped the spun speck so that it fell just in front of the little boy's feet, where it flew open. The little boy tasted the spun speck, and because of the honey, it was the sweetest spun speck he'd ever tasted. So he called to his sister, the princess. He called, Zuleika. He called, Zuleika, Zuleika, come and taste this spun speck. So, of course, that's how the wicked man learned that the princess's name was Zuleika. The wicked man rushed off home, but on the way he passed the lizard, who was sitting on a rock in the sun, gently singing the lizard song. Aha, said the wicked man. I have learnt the name of the princess. It is Zuleika. So tomorrow I shall tell the king, and then I shall marry his beautiful daughter. But, said the wicked man, I want to make a very grand entrance at the palace, so I want you, lizard, to walk in front of me and blow 3 blasts on a trumpet to announce my arrival. Well, the next day they went to the palace, and as they approached the king, the lizard blew 3 blasts on his trumpet. But because the lizard blew so beautifully, instead of being just blasts, the trumpet sang out the name,
Zuleika, Zuleika, Zuleika.
The king was true to his word. So he said, Hear, all my people, Lizard has sung out the secret name of my daughter, so Lizard shall marry her. When the wicked man heard this, he was so jealous that he thought of another wicked plan. The king had a beautiful crowing cock, of which he was very fond. That night, the wicked man stole the king's crowing cock and killed it. Then he plucked it and cooked it. Then he crept quietly into Lizard's house, put the cock's feathers under Lizard's pillow while he was fast asleep, and put the cooked cock on Lizard's table. Then, the wickedest thing of all, he poured boiling water onto poor Lizard's tongue. And of course, this made poor Lizard dumb. The next morning, when the king was told his crowing cock had been stolen, he was as mad could be. The wicked man went to the king saying, "I know who stole your crowing cock. It was Lizard." So off they all trooped to Lizard's house, and sure enough, there was the cooked cock on the table and his feathers under Lizard's pillow. Poor Lizard tried to say, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it." But because he was dumb, all he could do was wag his head from side to side. So, to this very day, lizards make no sound at all. And if you watch them, they'll wag their heads from side to side, sitting in the sun, trying to say, "I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it." And that's it, Uncle Boetie, is the end of today's story.